Oh, isn't that annoying the way they make you say okay now? All right, here we go. July 19th, 2021. Hold on, let me just adjust this one little fraction there. Okay, welcome everybody. Happy to see you. Good morning. Here we go. Get feet together, touching, and just shake the body out a little bit. Arms should feel like spaghetti. Really just start shaking the body. Begin the cleansing breath. Inhale through the nose, exhale, hot, audible through the mouth. Hands up in prayer posture, up against heart center with the thumbs. Again, inhale down deep into the belly, expand your belly like Buddha. Inhale through the nose, expand belly. Exhale through the mouth, hot, audible. Belly comes back in towards the spine. Notice the sound. Inhale. That's the cleansing breath. So the body will already start going into a state of parasympathetic rest digest. As soon as it hears that breath, whether I hear the breath on myself or on someone else, I still start going into that state, that calm state. I start to settle in, I start to center. Activate the belly pump. Drop the hands. Put mind right here in heart center. And slowly turn the hands over, feeling heart center opening, softening, releasing, dropping down right here. Anything that it's holding on to, it just drops, softens. And still continue to activate that belly pump. We do it at the very beginning here, and then we sort of let it go and hope that it continues throughout the rest of our practice. That's why we activate it. We put awareness on that belly pump. We get it going. And then we want it to just continue automatically through the rest of our practice for the next hour. Try to make your breath long, slow, deep, smooth, and even. Those are the 5 qualities of the breath. Turn the hands back over, relax, bend both knees, but let all the weight fill into the right leg, make it yang. Left leg becomes empty, yin, step out, flat, empty left foot. And just let the body unravel a little bit here, just a little side to side. Roll your shoulders, whatever it is, whatever your body needs to do here to sort of unravel it a little. Then come back to Wuji. Feel your feet bottoms rooting into earth. Feel palms rooting like a big oak tree, just rooting down into earth. A couple inches at least beneath your feet if you can feel for that. Remember, sacrum is dropped, flat lower back, skyhook pulling the top of the head up, chin in, long spine, 5 bows. The spine is the first bow. When I drop the sacrum, the spine becomes the first bow. The other bows are the knees and elbows. Slight bend in all of them. Double check your feet, shoulders width, parallel. Toes are neither out nor in. And let's begin tapping. Unblocking any stagnant energy. Up the outside, down the inside. From the wrist, up the outside, down the inside. Remember, using the palm, cup the hand. Not using my fingers here, I'm using the palm. Right back here, shoulder blade. Come around. Armpit massage. Open up those lymph nodes, help them drain. Don't forget to breathe during this. Try not to hold your breath if you feel any kind of tender spots. It's kind of human nature to hold your breath or do a little gasp when you feel some tender spots. Try not to do that. Try to breathe through it with the cleansing breath. Armpit down to waist, vibrating the drums, drumming the ribs. Other side. Drumming the ribs, activating all of the organs underneath it with the vibrations. Up the outside, shoulder blade. Come around, armpit. Really get in there with your finger. We've got an energy gate deep in the armpit, which corresponds to the breast. So that's a good one. I'm getting outside here with the thumb, and then I'm getting in here, and I'm just massaging it. My finger gets in the armpit. Good, drumming the ribs. Thymus thumb. Again, keep breathing. Come down a little bit into in between the breasts. That's lung points down in there. And then also right here, this is lung points 1 and 2. It's right around the shoulder notch. Get in there. And then get with the fingers, find your collarbone and get the fingers right underneath it and do a little bit of lymphatic massage all under here. This is where I mean you may be a little bit tender. And if you are, try not to hold your breath. Try to, if you feel a tender spot, like say I have a tender spot here, I'll try to breathe through it. Other side. You feel a little tender spot, make little circles on it until it releases a little bit. You'll notice it gets a little less tender as you make circles. It's like helping the lymphatic system drain. Brush down vagus nerve to relax the body. Take 5 fingers. Let's do one more for vagus nerve while we're here. Put 5 fingers just like this on solar plexus, just like this, all 5 fingers. That's the gesture, the hand mudra. Put them right here, and now breathe into this area. It's really just a belly breath. But make sure your fingers move. Feel the breath into the fingers. Do the cleansing breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. This is proprioceptive feedback. It's going up the arm into the brain, telling the body to go into parasympathetic rest digest. It's a great thing to do if you're ever having some stress. You just breathe into the belly, make sure that the fingers are moving too. So this whole region is breathing right in here. And this sends proprioceptive feedback to the brain. It's wonderful. Let's continue on with the tapping, down lower dantian. I am using my fingers. And then gentle fists, very gentle fists, lean forward slightly. Kidneys and adrenals, rub, always end with a rub. Sacrum, back of the fists, and legs. Remember the Achilles heel and the ankles, longevity points for kidney. Your knees are bothering you today for any reason, give a little extra tapping and then a rub. Tap, rub. Just bringing more blood to that area. Come back to Wu Chi. Back to Wu Chi. Let the body move. Let it, my body just wants to move here, wants to recalibrate from the tapping and just observe. Notice any changes from what we just did externally to how that affects you internally. Just notice anything. You may have a little bit of a body buzz, you may have some warmth, some tingling, whatever it is, you're just checking in and noticing. Now we're going to bounce off any of the rest of that stagnant energy and also open up those little gates at the bottom of the lymph nodes by doing some bouncing. So remember, this is the only time we're going to be doing short, shallow breaths, which is called dragon's breath of fire, versus what we want to do the rest of our practice, which is deep belly breathing. So here we go, in and out through the nose, keep the mouth closed. If you can time the up and down with the inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, that's good. If you can't, that's okay too. the heels a few times. And one last one with a big tap. And just let the body settle. Again, just observing. You did something externally. How is it affecting the internal? Just observing, witnessing. Don't even need to name it. Just notice any changes in the body. And one more, just like that. Notice I start out slow, and then I go a little bit faster once I get the rhythm of it. Also, you want the muscles to feel like fruit dangling from a tree, nice and relaxed. The branches of the tree are your bones, and the muscles are the fruit, just hanging. So even though my hands are going up and down, they're super relaxed. Everything in my body is very relaxed. And one last one with a heel tap. Breathe. It's okay to let out a big exhale there. Lots happening when you do the bounce and shake of the body. Lots of stagnant energy is moving, unblocking, releasing. And then let's just go right into the accordion or whole body breathing. Here we go. Hands in front of lower dantian, feet parallel. Inhale. Exhale. Hands, wrists, arms, fingers, really smooth, relaxed, soft, like I'm swimming in a pool. I'm in water. My whole body is a lung, so I'm breathing from my head top into my body, down to my feet. Inhale. Exhale. Go at the speed and the rhythm of your own breath, which means we'll all be doing it at different speeds here. You don't have to follow my rhythm. My rhythm is my breath. So this movement is very unique unto you. Exhale stops, hands stop, and they reverse. Inhale. Inhale stops, hands begin on the exhale. The hands are following the breath. This motion is meant to use the breath to marry the mind with the body. Marry or connect mind and body. Usually we're disconnected until we make this connection. Notice from the side, notice my whole body. Notice my pelvis comes forward as I open. Pelvis rocks back as I close. Pelvis rocks forward. Pelvis rocks back. So this is not just up and down. This is one way. This is up and down. See, my pelvis doesn't move. But I'm going pelvis rocks forward, open, pelvis rocks back. Pelvis rocks forward, push the feet into earth, pelvis rocks backwards. It's super important in this movement. This is a very relaxing movement. It's hard to be stressed when you're doing this whole body breathing right here. Let's bring it up. Let's grab this chi ball. See, we made a little chi ball right here of energy as we were doing that, aside from all the other things. Now grab that chi ball and bring it up to heart center, and the same thing. Inhale, exhale. Again, whole body breathing, activating now middle dantian. So we did lower dantian. Now we activate middle dantian. And then next we'll be moving to upper dantian or third eye. Inhale, exhale. Feels like my hands are inside my body, massaging heart center. One more. After the exhale, grab that chi ball. Take your time to get there if you're not there yet. Don't ever rush any of these. Bring it in front of third eye. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Upper dantian or third eye. Inhale. You may want to close your eyes on this one. That helps me feel a little bit more. Activating third eye. What we're doing by going in front of all three dantians like this is we're activating them. Opening up and activating these three energy centers in the body. One more. Take your time on the exhale. Feel the hands connecting, feel them talking to each other. And then we're going to take this chi ball that we just made at three dantians, and we're going to polish the golden ball. Polish the golden chi ball. Notice how I do this. Notice how I've got this slight rocking of my hips. Each hip is coming forward. So my left hip sends my left hand forward. My right hip sends my right hand forward. Don't lose that connection. We don't want a big circle here. That's not the point. The palms stay really close and connected to each other. Don't let the palms stop talking. Feel like a generator. I'm right in front of third eye, and I'm like a generator. I'm creating this generator of power and chi between my hands as I'm rotating forward. Now bring it down to heart center. Same thing. Polish the ball. Again from the side. Notice how I'm keeping my hands connected. I've got a little rocking going on, a little side to side, and a little rocking forward of each hip. Feel the chi building between your hands. Just feel that sensation. Then down. Next level, lower dantian. Now turn the ball. Turn the ball. Notice how I'm using my body to move my hands, and I'm turning that ball. All the while keeping my palms. My goal here is to turn the ball inward. I'm turning it in. In is a yin direction, and I'm keeping my palms connected no matter what. So if I had a ball, which is, this is a Tai Chi ball, I would keep it connected at all times. We're using an imaginary ball. Notice how I'm using my body to keep this connection too. Reverse it, yang direction. I find the yang direction a little bit harder. Just keeping the palms connected the whole time. Imagine you're holding this ball. You can make the ball whatever size you want. You want to make it a little bit bigger? Perfectly acceptable. You can turn the ball big ball. You can turn a small ball. That's the beauty of it. It's playful. And relax. Hold the ball. Feel like you're holding now, not just the ball, but a bowl. Feel this bowl. And the bowl is getting heavy with chi. It's filling. You're just letting it fill up like a filling station. Relax. Just holding the posture for a moment before we go into Tai Chi cross. I want you to just keep your feet parallel, shoulders width. Just scoop up some chi. Very easy, this one, but profound. Scoop the chi and bring it up and in. Up and in. That's all it is. Palm over palm in front of third eye. Not touching. They're not touching. There's some space between the palms, and we're bringing it into third eye. Now I want you to imagine there's a paintbrush sticking out of your palms, and you're painting down the front of your body, but not just the front surface, inside the body. You're dropping right down the chi, right down the central channel of the body. Throat. I'll call them out for the first time. Heart. Solar plexus. Make sure the palms are over the palms, not fingers. You can look at them to check. Navel. lower dantian. As soon as you hit lower dantian, you grab some more chi. Remember, bring it up and out, and then into third eye. So we're dropping from third eye to lower dantian. Try to feel this. Close your eyes on this one. Try to feel this down the central channel of the body. Not the zongding, that's different. That's an etheric axis point. We're trying to drop down the actual channel, which is right down the center of the body. Dropping our chi right down into dantian. Let's do one more of these. Take your time though. Wait till you hit lower dantian. Open the hands. Scoop some more chi. Pull it into third eye. Really look for this one. It's powerful. I did this 9 times a day. That's it. For 2 weeks straight, every day. And that's when I started feeling how powerful this Qigong was. It's called Tai Chi Cross. First 2 weeks, I didn't feel much. And then all of a sudden, it had its cumulative effect on me. Started feeling my chi drop down into my belly. On the next one, just open the hands. Take your time. Come back into Wu Chi. Good. Now we're going to do a little bit more for the spine. You know, I find the spine is super important. It's the information highway. Chinese believe if you have a healthy spine, you've got healthy organs. So let's bring everything in, close down, gentle fists. You can have your hands open, or gentle fists, just very relaxed, very relaxed. The forearms don't need to touch. They can just come in a little bit, elbows in a little. Remember the C shape right here, knees bent, pelvis tucked, chest is sunk. And when I sink the chest, what does that do? Creates this curve in my spine. I want this curve, this turtle back. So that's the closed posture. And then open is chest up, look up. Just let the elbows come out to your sides. Oh, feel that stretch in your abs and your ribs, lungs. And then close back down again. Sink the chest, tuck the weight, tuck the pelvis, bend the knees. Open, inhale, chest up, look up. Exhale, close down. Sink the chest, tuck the pelvis, bend the knees, turtle back. Exhale. Inhale, chest up, look up. Exhale. Create that curve in the spine, C curve. Looks like a turtle. One more. Inhale, chest up, look up. And exhale, round the back, sink the chest, tuck the pelvis. Now, stay in that sort of tucked position and just open the hands so that the palms are towards you. Make sure your feet are again parallel, shoulders width apart. Actually, in this one, you could go slightly pigeon-toed. I typically do. I feel it protects my knees by going pigeon-toed. So from here, we're going to do gazing at the moon. Just pivoting. We're just going to pivot on the center post of our body or the spine like a revolving door. So turn, and as I turn, the palms turn outwards, and I look through this little hole here, like I'm gazing at the moon, and my hands are slightly upwards. Come in, close, hands towards you, palms towards you, and then look to the other side, gazing at the moon, palms away. And now just pump it. Keep turning. Don't rush, nice and slow, and enjoy. Feel that twisting sensation on the spine. Breathe however you want on this one, but just make sure you're breathing. Feel that twisting. So healthy for the spine. You may have an adjustment. That's okay. One more. Come to the center. Let the hands relax, nice and slow. Washboard, just to do a little cleansing. Inhale. Exhale, push down. Hands are nice and close to the body. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. On the next exhale, right into hands flowing through water. You can adjust your feet now back to parallel. Feel this like you're really in water, soft, fluid, silk reeling, like pulling silk from a cocoon. You couldn't pull on the silk very abruptly, or you'd break the thread of silk. So that's why we call it silk reeling. It's very soft, gentle, no pauses, breaks, no abrupt moves, like you're in water. Notice the hips. So you're doing a figure eight with the hands. They come out, they come around the corner, then they come out this way and they come around the corner. But what winds up happening is the hips start doing a bit of a figure eight too. So the hips get a wonderful stretch in this Qigong. Hands flowing through water. There's two hands flowing through water. One is in front of the body, this one you see, and hands on the left and right sides of the body. We do that one sometimes too. Nice and relaxed. Next time we all come in the same direction, mirror me like you're looking at me in a mirror. It's easier to do this one. The direction you're leaning in, which is this way, the weight shift is the outer hand, and that's on top. And I'm catching the ball here. And just shift the weight, moves the hands. Now catch the ball over here. This is on the outside, this is on the top. Shift the weight, moves the hands. Notice where the hands pass each other. The fingers pass at the wristwatch. Shift the weight, moves the hands, turn the waist, catch the ball here. Shift the weight, moves the hands, catch the ball here. And then just get into a little bit of a rhythm here. This is cloud hands. Notice I'm also folding at the qua. Qua is the groin. I'm folding at this qua right here. You can see it. Now I'm going to fold at this qua. Shifting the weight, and that slight fold right here is pumping the lymphatic system. If I didn't shift the weight, this would kind of look like this. But I'm shifting weight, so that changes the whole appearance of it. But that's the gist of it. It's all at the elbows. My shoulders are nice and relaxed. My elbows are getting a wonderful workout. My bottom hand is blocking a strike right here. Top hand is blocking a strike up above. So I've got two blocks going on, above and below. Catch the ball, shift the weight, moves the hands. Catch the ball. This is also called outside parry. Let's go to inside parry. Hold, catch the ball, inside parry. Notice the only change, I'm still blocking down below. And above, I'm swatting at, imagine there's a tennis ball right here, and I'm swatting towards the inside. So that what changes is the top. Now I'm blocking a strike right to the inside, the center line of my body. Bottom hand is blocking a groin strike. If you want to think of the martial applications, this is also the opposite of cloud hands. This is what it looks like if I don't shift the weight. But I am shifting weight, so it becomes this movement. Shifting the weight, also folding at the qua, groin. Pumping the lymphatic system manually while I'm doing this. So many hidden benefits of Qigong. Just don't even think of them. So don't just focus on the arms here. Notice what the whole body is doing. Everything's moving as one unit, pumping the whole lymphatic system. Remember, the lymphatic system only detoxes through movement or massage. We're getting at it through both. You can keep your mouth closed, breathe through the nose, tip of tongue on roof of mouth, behind front teeth to create that energetic circuit. Or another term I heard was red dragon behind the two white mountains. Love that one. Last one, and back to Wuqi. We're going to do a little bit, we're halfway, so take a quick sip of tea or water. I don't know if you all heard my bell, but that was my halfway bell. If you have anything warm to put in your belly during Qigong practice, always a good idea. But at the very least, please drink a lot of water, either during or after class, to aid in the detoxification that we're doing in our classes here. Okay, here we go. We're going to do a little bit of Benbo shoot arrow. In this one, we're going to take an open posture, our horse stance. Toes are out now to the corners. Let me stand back so you can see my feet. My toes are to the corners of the room. My rib tips are in. So remember we talked last week about the suspenders, right? So thumb on rib tip, pinky on hip tip. And then here's an open suspender, rib tips out. Notice the length between them. Now watch, close the suspenders. I bring my rib tips in, the suspenders close. What does that do? Makes the sacrum go down. Not under, but just straight down like an anchor, and it opens up lower back. What I don't want in horse stance is this. You'll also notice when you're in horse stance, that's more comfortable. So up and down a little bit, warm up, go around the knees. Breathe. Okay, good, here we go. Relax the arms. Bring the arms up. And we're going to do Benbo shoot arrow. So I want you to do this motion a couple of times. I want you to bend the wrist before you shoot out, because that stretches all this fascia in here. Here's the hand posture. If you can't do this one, it's okay to just do an open posture, or this, or this. You can try them all. I like this one finger zen. Here we go. Let's just do it a couple times. 1, 2, 3. Feel that stretching across the body. This backhand here is pulling the bow, pulling that bow back, that wire bow. So here we go. We're rising and rooting during this practice. So as you bend bow, shoot arrow, root down with your legs. And your arms should be like mine are, straight across. Not like this or like this, straight across. Then rise up and just relax the arms. Forearms come together, but they don't touch. And then the other side, get ready. Get ready to do it. 1, 2, 3, and root, shoot arrow. Looking through your hand. You should be looking into the distance. Unless you need to look into the camera, look into the distance through that hand that you're shooting through. Rise, root, rise, root, rise, root. I do a bit of inhale. If you want to add the breath, exhale, root. Inhale, rise. Exhale, root. When I rise, I put a little bit of pressure in my heels. I notice that putting pressure in my heels helps me rise up a little bit more easily. Try that on this one. Put your pressure, push off your heels and rise. Just makes it a little easier. And root. Pressure in the heels, rise. Bend, bow, shoot, arrow, root down. Rise up, push off the heels, and root down. Bend, bow, shoot, arrow. One more. Rise up, and root. Good, hands together, push down. And we're going to do one more in this horse posture, but just give your legs a little bit of a, if you need to come out of the horse and just shake it out, totally acceptable. Always feel free to do that. Sometimes the legs just need to, and then I do a little bit of this, a little shaking on the, just keeping the lactic acid from building up. Always feel free to do that. Just want to keep the, we don't want to block anything. We're going to keep the energy moving, but at the same time, we do want to build our leg strength. We want to build our foundation. So here we go into our next one, uniting heaven and earth chi. Again, from horse stance, we're going to scoop up some chi right down here. You all know this one. Scoop up earth chi, bring it up, then out in front. So it's like this. I'll do this one. Grab the chi up and then right out in front to heart. Hands in front of heart. Let me come in close for this one. You see him in horse stance. Pull into heart. Feel this little bit of an opening right here. Hands are in front of shoulder notches. I turn them over, elbows dip down. Watch. Elbows dip down as I turn them over. Just natural ergonomics. Then I push through the wall, but I don't lock my elbows here. Don't lock. They're bent, slightly bent. The wall is your etheric body, your etheric field, your aura, same thing. Then I go in a little circle, not too big, not this big, in front of heart as I root down. And then I bump right here. I bump. That's a pressure point. I bump the palms as I'm in a rooted posture. Then I take that chi right around my mouth, chin area, and I send it up. Right here, broadcasting my signal. And I'm going to come back now. Then I scoop some heaven chi. Remember, it's called heaven and earth chi. Heaven and earth unite. Scoop some heaven chi. Unite it with earth chi. Bring it up, out, then into heart. Feel that, how that feels so good. Then drop, turn the hands over, drop the elbows, push through the wall as you root down. Circle the heart. Bump the palms, send it up. That's it. I'm going to give you cues. Heaven, scoop heaven. Unite it as you scoop up earth. Bring it up, out, into heart. Turn the hands over, push through the wall. Circle the heart, just a little circle around the heart. Bump the palms, come up around the mouth, chin, send it up like a big smiley face. Heaven. Earth. Out and into heart. Turn the hands over, push through the wall. Circle the heart. Bump the palms, send it up. Couple more. Heaven. Earth. Heart. Wall. Circle. Bump. Send it up. Relax the hands. One more simple one in this posture, and we'll come out of horse stance. As the hands come down, I want you to just scoop up this way now. Just like this. All right? Back of the hands together. Don't really try too hard to put them together. They're just a couple of fingers are together. This is dragons coming out of the water, and then parting clouds. So the name of this Qigong is Parting Clouds. What I just showed you right here, it's like dragons coming out of the water. Turn the hands over, come down. So inhale up, let's add the breath. Turn the hands over. So the hands come up like this. They come out of the water, they turn over, and exhale down. This is also called putting a protective shield around the body. Inhale. Turn the hands over, exhale down. Parting clouds. Really, as you're coming up and your hands start to turn over, look up. Really feel that sensation of parting clouds. Inhale, exhale. Last one, let the hands settle. Nice and slow. Hands back in Uchi posture, rooting into earth. And remember how we come out of this, it's very gentle on the knees. How we come out of horse stances, toes, heels, toes, heels. We just walk them back, right back to shoulders width. Shake them out if they need to be. Good, excellent. Okay, next one. A little bit of the 8 brocades here. It's heaven and earth press. Top hand is palm up, pressing up to heaven. Bottom hand pressing down into earth. So here we go. Press. Press up to the heavens, down to earth. And then look up at the top hand. Just glance up. And after you're done glancing, release it. Let it go. Let the hands float. And each hand turns over. So one's up, one's down. They turn over and they compress the beach ball. Feel like you're compressing a ball here. But now they need to pass each other, right? So how do we make them pass? Right here, pinkies kiss. Pinkies kiss. They don't have to touch, but the point is the pinkies kiss, not the thumbs. And then you turn them over, palm up, palm down. Look at the top hand, release it, compress the beach ball, nice and slow. Make room for pinkies to kiss and pass each other. And stretch, push up, push down, heaven and earth press, and release. Take the ball, pinkies kiss, and spiral. You should start feeling your spine spiraling in this one. And relax, make the ball, pinkies kiss, heaven and earth press. Look up at the top hand, then release it. Just need to glance up at it and then you can release it. And release. And release. That's the last one. Relax the top hand, let it come down, meet the bottom hand. And we're going to do bending over to cure 1,000 illnesses. One quick thing on this one, I just want to make sure everybody has, is that we're going to go over, and it's not like yoga, it's not about how far you go over. You just go over until you're comfortable. But the most important part, I want to show you on the video, is so I'm going to go over. Notice I have a bend in my knees, I'm nice and relaxed. My head and neck are relaxed, but here's the most important part. To come out of any time we're bent over in any of these, we bend the knees and we sit on a high stool. So you want to bend the knees, sit on a high stool and roll or tuck the pelvis under. So when I'm coming up, the pelvis is just going under like this. It's rolling under, rolling under, rolling, 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 rolling. And then the last thing up is neck and head. When I'm rolling up, by tucking the pelvis under, let me show it here, tucking the pelvis under and I'm rolling my spine up, my focus is on the front of my spine, on the front. As I'm going over, my focus is on the back of my spine. Super important. Even if I drop something and I need to pick it up. Here, drop something. I need to pick it up during the course of my day. This is how I'll pick it up. I'll get it. And then I'm going to come up like this. So you could be doing this spinal roll lots of times throughout the course of the day if you're like me and drop things. So we're going to do that, but then we open at the end. We just open, palms up. At the very end, we'll open, the shoulders will open, the palms will just go up. We roll back, we're going to look up, stretch backwards. Then we're going to look forward, let the palms relax, and boom, one heel tap, big one. I'm on the second floor, so I don't know if you heard, the whole room felt like it was coming down. Then we do a heel tap. That's a settling of the chi. So here we go. We're just going to do a few of these. Here we go. So start on the back of the spine and come over. Not as slow as the spinal stretch. This one's faster. This bending over is faster than regular spinal stretch that we do in our other classes. Head and neck last. Relax everything. Sit on the high stool. Tuck the pelvis under. Tuck it. Arms relaxed. Not using my lower back at all. Open the chest, look up, look forward, relax the chest now, and one big heel tap. Settle the chi. Here we go. We're just going to do a few of these. Come over. I'll do one from the side. I roll over from the bottom of the spine, the sacrum, all the way up. And my head and neck are last to go over. Again, it's not about how far over I go. And then I come right back up. Bend the knees, tuck the pelvis under. Move the pelvis forward in space, and it will automatically roll you up, focusing on the front of the spine. Keep rolling up, chest out, open, look up. Relax the chest, look forward. Hands go back to neutral, tap the heels. One more. Remember, as you come over, the bottom of the spine to the top, head and neck last. Focusing on the back of the spine, my awareness is in the back. Come over, make sure I'm relaxed, shake your head left and right. Maybe shimmy your shoulders a little bit to relax yourself. And then tuck the pelvis under, focusing on the front of the spine. Again, no lower back at all here. I'm just tucking my pelvis, and it's just rolling me up. And now, of course, head and neck are last to come up. I continue to look up, palms open, chest opens to the sky, and then come back to neutral, look forward, relax the chest, and nice and relaxed. Good. Boy, that one gives me a little bit of a neuro flush. So let's just end with a little bit of this, and we'll do some mobility work. A little bit of Tai Chi ruler to relax ourselves. Tai Chi ruler, if you have your ruler, feel free to use it, but you don't need one. Notice the pelvis becomes like the locomotive here. Hands are making a circle, 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock as the pelvis rocks forward, 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock as the pelvis rocks back, 6 to 12, pelvis rocks forward, 12 to 6, pelvis back. So the pelvis becomes this locomotive, but it's not just my arms stiff and it's all there. It's the pelvis and the arms working in harmony. Notice my arms are still moving, my elbows come back, my hands come close to the body, then move away from the body. I'm revolving in a yang circle. My hands about 11, 12 inches from each other, give or take. That's the ruler part of this. Tai Chi ruler means about 11 inches apart. Nice and relaxed. This is a wonderful Qigong to do before bed. It's very relaxing. I'm pushing my feet into the floor. My whole body is moving. Everything's going. Feel like my arms are like a locomotive train. Feel your palms connecting, talking, communicating with each other. Super important to keep the palms talking in this one. Your palms should be warm by now from everything else that we've done. Last one, and relax the hands. All right, let's do a little bit of mobility work. I'm gonna come in close here so you can see me. I'm just doing figure eights or infinity sign. I'm making an infinity sign here and an infinity sign here. All right, this one looks easy, but it's not so easy actually. It takes a while. The brain needs to figure this one out. It's a bit of a brain tease here. People think they're doing it and often not. In, out, in, out, in, out. If you already know how to do this, add the fingers. Fingers open, fingers together like a beak. Open, together, open, together. This is so wonderful for the joints of the elbows, wrists, fingers. Really good, bringing synovial fluid into these. Reverse it. Bringing synovial fluid into the joints. But we're also working the mind here. New neural pathways have to be made to do these types of movements, especially the infinities and the figure eights. Bring the hands in. Punch. Here's another one. This is again working the mind. Really focus, really use the mind. New neural pathways may need to be made. Bring the hand in towards, when I say in, not in this way, but in towards the heart. Making an infinity sign. In towards the heart with a fist. As the fist comes around, it opens. Keeps going around. Notice it's an infinity still. Now the thumb in, next finger, then index, ring, next, next, next. I'm holding it up like that so you can see, but the punch is a regular punch. Bring it in. The other one spirals out like a corkscrew. Bring it in again in the direction of the heart. In towards the heart, the first loop. Outer loop, hand opens. Comes around, here's the outer loop of the infinity. Thumb gets tucked in, then index, next, next, next. Into a punch. Punches straight on like this. I'm just turning it so you can all see me. Pull one in, one comes out. Notice it's like a lever. One coming in spirals the other out. Come in, out, in, thumb in, push, pull. In towards the heart. Open. Thumb in. Push, pull. This one may take a while. Don't expect to get this one right away. I told you, I cheat. I do these things at home. Thumb in, and then I come into class to make it look easy. This took me a while. One more. Just getting a taste of it today. You want to let the thumb be free and then tuck it in. One more. Punch. In towards the heart. Open. Thumb is free. Then the thumb gets tucked. And one finger at a time. Good. Really nice. All right. Wrist circles. Away from you. This quick little mobility routine to wrap it up. Away. Towards you. Elbows. In towards you. Away. Remember, now we're going to wake up those shoulder blades. We're going to pull from the shoulder blades. Good. Arms are pretty much locked. I'm not doing this and I'm not doing this. So none of that, none of this. Okay, this is not going to be this. That's a very common thing. You guys know it by now. We're going to walk the shoulder blades forward. Walk them forward. Again, pulling from the shoulder blade, not the top of the shoulder, but the shoulder blade. Notice how the ribs get involved. So I'm making a circle, up, down, back, making a circle. Notice the ribs get engaged and the spine. You may have a spinal adjustment here, very common. I'll show you from the side what this looks like. One shoulder, walking forward in circles. Everything is circles. Now walk backwards. Whenever we do this type of mobility work to bring synovial fluid into the joints, you will notice we'll always be doing circles and figure eights or infinity signs. That's what we'll be doing, always. Nothing linear. Okay, shake it out. Hands on hips. Hold these hips steady. And I want you to just hold them steady and try to make circles with the ribs. Not easy. May have to open them up a little bit. Open the ribs up, side to side. This is one way to open them before you do it. Sometimes I do this one just to warm my ribs up, side to side. Notice this is locked. You can do these seated too, which really locks the hips into place. Now try to do a little bit circle. Notice if that helped open you up a little bit. Reverse it. Forward, side, back, side, forward. Side, back, side, forward. So moving shoulder blades and ribs massage heart and lungs. We don't want those to lock up. Let's do some hip circles. When shoulder blades and ribs lock up, really not good for heart and lungs. So we want to keep them mobile and massage those two organs. This one I'm moving from the hips. I'm not moving my head. My head's coming along for the ride. My head is the opposite of the hips, but it's just coming along for the ride. But it's the hips that are making a big circle, back, side, forward, side, like I'm skimming the inside of a hula hoop. Reverse it. Nice and slow here. Don't go fast. So if the spine needs to adjust, or the hip or the sacrum, it will in this movement eventually. May not right away, but once you loosen up, you'll notice that you will adjust from doing these types of movements, this mobility stuff. But it won't do it if you move fast, because the body doesn't feel safe to make an adjustment if you're moving too fast. So best to go too slow than too fast. Good. Shake it off. You can hold on to a chair or an imaginary stool or a wall. And here we go. I hold on to 2 imaginary stools and I do ankle circles, 5 to 7 one way. Then I reverse it. Good balance work here. Other foot. When you're ready, take your time. Reverse it. It's great balance work. Wonderful balance work here. Good. Shake it off. A couple of side to side to check your balance. Just a couple of these. Crane. Hands and knee come up at the same time. Again, do not lift your foot up high. You can just toe touch. Toe touch. Unless you're ready and you have the balance, don't lift the leg up too high. Even when you do lift it up, thigh never comes past parallel to earth. Inhale, exhale. Just flowing like an eagle or a crane. Beautiful bird, knee and hands connected. One more. Back to Wu Chi. Make some heat if you don't have already. And I feel like I've got a lot of chi in my hands, so I want to take those chi-filled hands and feed my eyes with my palms. Then take the 2 fingers up the bridge of the nose, over third eye, out to the temples and wipe off. Should feel good. Then down the bridge of the nose, underneath the cheekbones out to the ears. And remember, we use these little pinchers. Pinch and pull from the top of the ear down to the lobe and then back up to the top. Should feel good. Keep doing that. One more time, down, back up. Then I put a little bit in my neck in here. Just rub the back of my neck. Move that around a little bit, maybe a couple of neck circles. That was the one area I kind of neglected today, was the neck. So maybe that's the thing. You scan your body and you see, well, what did I miss today? Oh, neck circles. Okay, let me throw those in before I close my practice. Right? Just a couple of those, 3 to 5 each way, all good. All the weight, as we close, we shift all the weight always to the left side and load up that left leg and just scoop the chi around you as you push off that left leg, bringing it back to where it was. And we'll just do one closing here, palms headed towards the body, palms down towards the body like shower heads, and then let them float down through your etheric field of your body. The palms turn inwards as they get near the body. They just want to turn in, and the hands just float through your field, aligning, balancing, grooming, cleansing your entire field. Go around Dantian, back to Wuchi. Turn the hands over. Back to that state of reception. Just inviting the light, inviting the chi into the body, and just becoming the conduit between heaven and earth energy. Heaven and earth meet here at heart center in the body. And here we go. Thank you for class. I hope you're feeling more balanced and aligned.